right. How many of us can do that? But with the old, let's crush the Cold War narrative hot on everybody's minds. And we have the First Lady writing Putin a message today on Twitter to cut the shit. And we have Zelensky coming on Monday. Now, I know what you are wondering. And we're gonna find out on Monday. Will he wear a suit or not? Yes, that's where we have arrived. Now, if you're new, this is the weekly market analysis where we go through a few scenarios. So, we have a perfect fib retracement setup to the gap here if we start shitting the bed. When would we do that? Monday. Okay? Why? Because we have a possible trend change channel. Or date, rather. And we haven't been able to push higher. We've been here at this trend line. And this trend line is everything, right? This is where it's at right now. Why? Because this trend line is massive. This is the trend line here right now that we're fucking with from October 23. Will we regain it and go back into the main channel or not? Okay. Now, if we start puking from here, that's the easy part. Everybody can explain that. People can explain that by us just ripping since April, right? Starting to curve here on this is the weekly, right? Everybody can explain that. Going higher from here, though, requires a little bit of imagination, but can also be explained. Now, I want to take you back like Eddie Money, right? Here. This is SPY now, by the way. So not only have you done something pretty special here, you have red, green, red, green, red, green, red, green, red, green, red. If this pattern, let's call it ultimate fuckery, is to continue, Monday is to be green. Okay? Now, any program, since this is all a computer game and has nothing to do with reality, any computer game that they or algo they put on here is about max 14-15 days, right? Whatever it may be. Same thing here. Drop. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I would give this maybe 2 days, right? And then we're ready for a drop. If we go higher here, I think you can get away with just a backtest at this FOMC level, right? We dropped under it, rejected, again, and now we're through. 4 days above, okay? Why are these yellow lines? These are all FOMC lines, right? They're very significant because once you're over it, you establish a trend. Okay, this is pretty fresh right now. Nevertheless, this should have been a top candle, but it was not because we traded 1 point higher, right? Can still be. That's why Monday is huge, and it will be trappy. It will be really, really trappy. Now, I want to take you back to 2020. See here, this is the daily 200 in white, and that is the 89 that has crossed to the upside. Okay, why is this significant? This is very significant. Okay, let's go back. When did it do it last time? Okay, follow me. Oh. Huh. 23. What happened? We fucking ripped. Okay. When did it do it the time before that? To the upside, that is. Huh. August 2020. It's almost as if someone with a beard and long hair has said that we're trading the 2020 market now 50 times, to the point where we even have our Epic members producing overlays that are absolute fire. Hell yeah. So, let's just count here. Okay. So, I've mentioned this W to you before. I think we're gonna go into this. When is this day? Well, let's see here. Let's fucking do this right now, guys. That candle I just showed you guys, is that last Thursday or Wednesday or whatever it was? So this means, okay guys, if for some reason we rip Monday or Tuesday, buy and puts. Okay? Why? Because we are so fucking overdue for some fondue to the downside. Like, I mean, I've just been saying up for years. I'm not saying we're good. The market's going past 7,000. Like, no question about it. But we do need a pullback. Why? Because we've stalled, kind of like we did here, right? This can start any day now. Okay? It won't be exact, but that is one possibility. Now, if that candle was this, we're going higher. And we do have plenty of fractals that say higher. I'm just putting out the warning. I do it every fucking week. Don't get cooked. Be aware of the danger, etc, etc, etc. Will the market go higher? Yes, absolutely. When would I long this shit? Probably with size next time we come close to the green one, right? Because last time we pierced the green bottom of the Bollinger was here in good old April, and we haven't even come close. Well, I guess we came close here end of July, early August, but it's just been up, right? Okay, fantastic. Now that we have gone over the risks and what we might be tracking here, let's check out some other stuff. On the daily, the Stow doesn't usually hang out here extended very long. You can get a couple of, I'm looking for something like this, just like maybe back to the midline, to the 21, something like that. I'm not looking for the sky to fall here. Plus, this price action index has just now turned from neutral to green, right? RSI is kind of cooling off. But as long as you have the good old blue over the brown, you're good to go. So, short term, let's see, we got plenty of phantoms and targets. You still have this possibility of a fucker inverted head and shoulders, especially if you get good news fast. And if it's up, I would scale right there and definitely here. Okay, fantastic. Now let me show you some other stuff. Now that we're all speaking the same language. And it is pretty crazy. Most of this has been a rotation, right? And here is the new highs, new lows. Here you see a low, right, in April. Okay, you saw a low a few weeks ago. And these fuckers flat end can go up to here. Okay, the RSI on this thing on the weekly is 51. Now, a few days ago we started noticing that the Namo was a little out of whack. This is the weekly. It's set up as can be for more upside after it's pulled back a little bit, right? If it's a strong Monday, all this was a retest of the 50. we haven't retested the 50 a single time, and can obviously go close to 70. So that's why Monday in particular is so important, because we do have a trend change. Okay, so now that we know that we have a trend change, let's slap on some interesting stuff here. Okay, real quick, bear with me. All right, there we go. Now this is the daily, right? Okay, where does this start? Okay, it wants to start right there. That's fine. There we go. It's giving me the April low. It's giving me the April low. Okay, fantastic. First window up, second window up, third window up. It would make logically sense if the fourth window was down. Where does it take us? It takes us to here. But if we're on a different trajectory, this one that it just switched to, we get to here. So these next few weeks are going to be very, very volatile. Why is that? Because it's gonna be leading into quarterly OPEX, right? It's gonna lead into quarterly OPEX, which is huge. So if you think about it logically, it would make sense now to start pulling back in order to get more juice and entry for the exit liquidity rally we're about to have, because this is the one. Okay, can also go sideways and can also go up, but we've gone up plenty, and it's we've left so many gaps that won't be filled for years probably, that we do need a retest here. All the internals say it, but it's not, in my opinion, gonna be the biggest pullback of all time, because that's not the world we live in currently. Same thing with this has room to go plenty. Now the dollar can play into this. It is still looking fugly, wants lower, even though that is down there. It does want lower, and they will bring it lower. That's gonna be one thing that does it. I mean, this is the weekly, just rejected the 21 there on the weekly. This is going lower. Then you have this whole thing that rallied on Friday, right? They want these lower any way they can, so at some point, you know. But because the VIX has now been squished all the way back down to our box here that we were talking about when we were fucking up here, right? It's reached its goal. So it can do two things. It can stay down here and give you cheap premiums, or it's going to bounce. And at some point in September, October, it will bounce. And once it's bounced and starts coming down, that's the bottom. That is then when the rally starts, just so everybody remembers this, to fucking hold some money for it, because it's going to be a major rally. Okay? Fantastic. Now, I mentioned this in the chat on Friday to keep an eye on this. Up, up, up. Fourth window down. Market has not sold off more since we closed on Friday. It has actually gone up. That's where we closed on Friday. That's where Bitcoin is. Okay? I'll be watching this because this window takes us into the close on Monday. And then we have another window that keeps on going, right? All through the week. That's why this window here is very important, because it takes us till Tuesday. Monday, Tuesday. Just mentioned Monday, Tuesday. right? If this is an absolute fucking ripper, let's say it here, I think there's a good chance for a short, finally. Okay, now I've said it. You also had 13 dark pool prints on Friday. So basically, to invalidate these and just fucking face rip, you need 1 day to gap and start going over 647. So good idea. I already have it marked 647. Good. That's all-time high, by the way. A good idea to mark that on your charts and put an alert there. Right? Okay. Banks have been nowhere to be found. It will be interesting on Monday to see if this is an inverted head and shoulders that out of the gate on Monday explodes. If this fucker starts moving on Monday, I'm there. Just for, 10-15 minutes. JPM calls, blast off, sell. Okay? Why? Because it's a market vehicle, right? Okay, fantastic. The usual suspects here, Meta throughout the day seemed way stronger than, let's say, Microsoft. It's almost as if it made a cup, pulled back, and is ready to go. And if this thing goes on Monday, it's gonna be a fucking choppy ass week. And the only play is Monday and Friday on this, right? I wouldn't even trade Nvidia. You still have all that semiconductor shit tariff bogus coming, and also government saying, hey, you gotta pay 15 points on China deals. Meanwhile, we're gonna take a stake in INTC. Okay? Cooling racks is not ready after this dumperoni yet, but soon. It doesn't stay down here for very much long. But I would say end of the year, rather. Avgo's earnings are coming up soon. I think it goes 350. I will definitely play it in the money when we get there. Eli Lilly, okay, they are in 720 calls. Healthcare names hot. Once the daily 9 crosses, or the hourly 9 crosses the 200, it's go time for this bad boy. I would say we buy the dips on this bad boy. It wants back at least the 720, if not the daily 21. So this is gonna be something we trade. This was obviously a smash fucking hit on Friday. The 270s paid me 1,122%, and the 280s I sold for like 3,900%. Lucky you that I didn't full port this shit, or I would be in Asia already. Okay, but now it's up here. People are gonna play it. It's at the top of the Bollinger Band. It's gonna need a retest. It's gonna need this cross. It's gonna need this to retest. But this is gonna be a name now that we trade. And it's fun to trade, right? The weed name got out there, rebought it. Let's see if this is a double bottom. If not, see you later, potheads. Netflix. Next earnings move is going to be up. That's all I'm gonna say about this. This is gonna be a absolute smash name end of the year, and I wouldn't be surprised if this guy's earnings in October is the one that sets off the rally. We covered this. It's above the Bollinger Band. This fucker's chain for next week is funky. How is it gonna do it? I don't know. Remains to be seen if it does. Trading like it's, and it came back there, which is like, of course it did in the last fucking half hour. This is trading like it's getting into the S&P 500. Google, MSTR. I will probably never trade MSTR again. Maybe I will. We'll see. Microsoft's trading like absolute dog shit here. Basically, it's just burning premiums until September OPEX. Tesla. Good old Tesla. It's gonna have this week to go, or it needs to wait a few weeks. The reason being the EV mandate thing ends here, so is it gonna race into it or is it going to limp? I think it's gonna race into it once it consolidates here in this lovely little downtrend and fucking shoots and goes. Can get to see 365. Apple's back doesn't mean I'm going to be trading it, but it is back. It is also, you know, see they're protecting this lower Bollinger Band. Here you see it, whenever it dips underneath it, you can buy it. Okay, be careful this week. Like last week, I think this is a one move week. Tuesday. Chop, 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 chop. Okay? So if this starts ripping on Monday or Tuesday, for fuck's sake, play it. If it starts dumping, play it. Okay? It's gonna be soap opera news. It's not gonna be economic data until Friday. What do you mean? Well, let me show you. Here we are. Monday, nothing. You got Zelensky, baby. Tuesday, oh, Canada, building permits. A little bit of fun, right? Wednesday, bond auction. Okay? FOMC minutes. Whoop-de-doo. Thursday, jobs. And Friday, good old Powell speaks over there after he has his bison soup. Okay? You all know what Jackson Hole can do. They can fucking kill the market and the president can say, wasn't my fault. You know what I mean? This is why we need blah, 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 blah. Here we go. Alright, so Monday's Gex. We either trade that or we fall through here. There's nothing holding us back from a big dump. That's why I'm warning you guys. Doesn't mean it happens, but now I've said it. Tuesday. Ooh, why is Tuesday down here? See what I mean? There's downside positioning already in place. Just need you know, the right target. Wednesday. Thursday. And Friday. So what you do notice here is there's not a lot of positioning up here or numbers because we are rocking all-time highs. 650 would be max. We have that 652 phantom print closest. So yeah, now just saying, prepare, be selective, don't chase every fucking move. There's gonna be plenty. Okay. Plenty moves. Okay, I'm more worried about Monday and Tuesday. We'll figure out the rest end of the week. But again here, if we lose this, right, down we go. Okay, that's the daily. ES hasn't touched the daily 9 since Thursday the 7th. Okay, so why not? But again, doesn't mean we don't, you know, do the gappy wappy. Okay, like if he gets this fucking peace deal going and Zelensky isn't, you know, a schmuck on Monday, what do you think's gonna happen? Bitcoin, boom. It's already put on that much. So, just saying. God bless, guys. I'll see you Monday. Hopefully we have another absolutely epic week.